What is going on, everybody? This is Pastor Ethan for another episode of the Truth Is podcast. This is episode 16, and today we're joined by a reoccurring guest. He's a sophomore at Nederland High School, part of Ned and Company, and he's in choir. Give it up for Jack Hale. Jack, how you doing?
I'm good.
All right, Jack. So you know how this goes. We're going to start off with a little word association. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So first off, if you could be any crayon color, what would you be?
I think I would be reddish orange.
Reddish orange. All right. Breakfast food for dinner or dinner food for breakfast?
Breakfast food for dinner.
All right. Favorite fast food restaurant?
Whataburger.
And what is your order?
I do a patty melt.
Okay, patty melt with fries?
Medium fries. Yeah.
Medium fries.
With a Coke.
With a Coke. Do you use just fries dipped in ketchup, spicy ketchup?
Normal ketchup.
You'll have to try gravy.
Oh.
Dip your fries in gravy. It's good. It's good. Trust me. All right, and final question, favorite candy bar?
Snickers.
Snickers. All right. So, Jack, we learned a little bit about you last time. What is something that we may not know?
Well, I have a pretty cool birthday. It's during spring break, and people are jealous about it, and I take pride in that, which, I don't know.
All right. So, does spring break ever move?
Well, it has, but it was during quarantine, so it didn't really matter.
Well, it may. You may, Jack. All right, you ready to jump into our devotion?
Yep.
All right, so we are on, we do Pastor Ron's devotional, The Plain Truth. And so our truth is for week 16, decisions require decision makers. Decisions require decision makers.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into our scriptures. So first we have Hebrews 13:17. It says, "Obey your leaders and submit to their authority. They keep watch over you as men who must give an account. Obey them so that their work will be a joy, not a burden, for that would be of no advantage to you." And lastly, Romans 13:1 through 2. "Everyone must submit himself to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. Consequently, he who rebels against the authority is rebelling against what God has instituted, and those who do so will bring judgment on themselves." So, Jack, let's break this down a little bit. So, jump into Hebrews 13. It says, "Obey your leaders and submit to their authority." In life, in high school life, you have a lot of leaders, right?
Yeah.
Teachers, principals, coaches, whatever it is, just everything in school. How can you better submit to their authority?
Definitely be like a good listener, because if you don't follow the rules or listen to them, it could get you into big trouble.
Yeah. Okay. Then the next part goes, "They watch over you as men who must give an account. Obey them so that their work will be a joy, not a burden." So, as a follower and as someone who follows these leaders that God has placed in your life, are you a joy or are you a burden, Jack?
I think I'm pretty neutral with that, because I talk a lot.
You can be a joy, but you can also be a burden at times. I think that's how it is sometimes in life. It ties into, when it talks about spiritual authority, parents, whatever it is. We really have to strive to be a joy and not so much of a burden. But consequently in life, it's sometimes we can be a burden, especially to our parents at times.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's jump to Romans 13:1 through 2. And it says, "Everyone must submit himself to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established." So when you hear that part, "for there is no authority except that which God has established," what comes to your mind?
Well, your parents have a lot to do with that, because if you don't listen to your parents, they're not going to teach you. It would be a bad situation. Like, if you don't get taught things in life that they went through because they have more knowledge than you, you would not learn anything over time.
Yeah, and kind of building off of that, when we look at that part, it says the authorities that exist have been established by God. God has put the people in our lives that are over us. It doesn't really matter what we think or how we feel about it. They're there for a reason. So in life, there are going to be people that you really don't want to follow, but we kind of got to get over it
Yeah.
because God has put them there for a reason. There's really nothing we can do about that. So let's jump into our devotion for the day. Parents should be firm in their decisions while raising children in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. Just because other children are allowed to misbehave or run their own lives at an early age does not mean it's best. Many times children, influenced by their friends, can see caring parents as being unfair and strict. Adults can also feel unfairly governed from time to time in situations of life. People in authority are often called upon to make unpopular decisions which can limit others. The legitimate voice of a leader can be viewed by those who are negatively affected as like a dictator. However, some situations call for bold decision making from legitimate leaders standing in their place. The part I really want to hit on this is, as parent, I'm a parent, so I'm not going to let my kid be wild and crazy. I know your mom.
No.
Your mama ain't going to let you be wild and crazy. So when we think about that, we really should learn that as you become a parent, to parent as you should. Parent like your mom would. Parent like your mom did, And then it jumps to, in times whenever you're an adult, you can feel like you're being unfairly governed or unfairly led by someone you really don't want to follow. You're like, I don't like your ideas. I don't like what you think. But it's life. You kind of got to get over it.
Yeah.
So, Jack, what is something that you kind of pulled from our devotion for today?
There's really a just to it that if you have parents that have the urge to teach you, and they should, you should accept that, and you should grasp what they say and think of it in your day-to-day life, because they're your parents and God put them there for a reason.
Yeah. So our prayer for today, it says, "O Father, help me to recognize and teach me to follow the legitimate leaders you have placed in my life. As I do, Lord, give grace to those who find themselves governed by my decisions. Help them to see me doing my best to do my duty. May I always please you, sir." I really like that part. It says, give me the grace to follow the people that you have placed in front of me. But also, give the people that are going to follow me the grace to follow me as I'm just trying to do what you have called me to do. So when you hear that, when you see that part of give me grace for the people I will follow and give the people grace who I will lead, what do you kind of pull from that?
If it gives them grace, it's like, don't pull away from getting the lessons from the authorities that you have or the older people in your life, because those people have been in the same situation and they understand where you're at.
Yeah, that's good. All right, Jack, so if you had one takeaway from today's devotion, just one from the whole thing, what would your takeaway be?
Definitely listen to your parents and take what they give, essentially.
Yeah, listen to your parents. They're a lot smarter than you, even though you may think that you're smarter at times. The answer is you're wrong.
Yeah.
But listen to your parents, do what you're told, and kind of follow their leadership. Well, I'm Pastor Ethan. That's Jack. This has been episode 16 of the Truth Is podcast. We're so excited for the many more episodes to come. Make sure you tune in next week for a new episode.